what is the guarantee that tomorrow there won't be any of these experiences? There is, after this COVID-19 experience, I'm telling you, the world economy is going to change and people's mindset is going to change. There's going to be a huge change globally in businesses, in the way people look at life and the way people approach life. There's going to be a huge change, and we as Dhamma friends, we should be the missionary of change, because we do understand life to a great extent. We do understand that everything in life is changing. And from this COVID-19 experience, what we have experienced, one more thing is that we cannot take life for granted. We cannot take life for granted. Don't say that this will not happen, nothing will happen to us, everything will be fine. Yes, of course, this positive thinking is fine. But don't take it for granted, and don't forget that everything is going to be smooth every time in life. Because today we have COVID-19, tomorrow worse than this could happen. And I can tell you, the economy crash is going to be worse than what we are experiencing right now. Many people are going to lose their jobs, lot of stress, lot of tension. Businesses are going to go down crazily, stock exchange falling, lot of experiences, these sort of experiences we are going to see in the future. So prepare for the worst. Now, how do we prepare for the worst? Now, since you're locked down, you have all the time for yourselves. Now prepare for the worst. Let me give you a few examples. Now, some of you might have taken or might have made, say a schedule that you try to follow and develop some things. Now, let me tell you what I do, just to inspire all of you, that how you can really use your time to grow yourself physically and mentally, and to keep inspiring yourself, motivating yourself. Now, what I've started doing it, I know I'm also free, I'm also locked down, I can't do all my courses, I cancelled, I can't go to Europe, I'm stuck in Thailand, all my courses in Thailand are also cancelled. But doesn't matter, I don't worry, I don't care. I'm quite happy that I got this wonderful opportunity to do what I really want to do. Now, you'll be surprised, I wake up, of course I sleep around 10, between 9 and 10 I go to bed, and then I wake up every day at 4 o'clock, and from 4 to 6 I meditate for 2 hours as part of my mental development, as part of my mental motivation, as part of my mental inspiration. Remember, I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, from 4 to 6 for 2 hours I meditate, and then 6 to 8 I do Tai Chi, I do Qigong, and I do yoga, and I do joggings. I do a lot of physical exercise. So I'm using this lockdown in the best way possible. You'll be surprised, really. I wake up at 4, do 2 hours of meditation, 2 hours of exercise, then I go cycling, then I go jogging. I do a lot of things, and I'm really preparing myself for 2 things. One, really for something which is very uncertain that could happen, like COVID-19. You never know what could happen in the future. There can be anything. Like recently somebody was telling me, like, Vivek, maybe next time we might have a very high profile guy, he's a CEO of a company. He was telling me, Vivek, maybe next time we could have like a virus where people will become zombies. But that's quite possible. Like, imagine people becoming zombies and biting each other and killing each other and infecting each other. Just imagine this could happen. Don't take it for granted that, oh, nothing of that sort will happen or this will happen. Don't take it for granted. So if that is one thing that you prepare for, the most uncertain. Secondly, what you prepare is, we are all growing older. We are growing older, and eventually, if you are lucky enough, you live long to be old, and then you die. But anything else could happen by which your life can end. So there are 2 preparations that we should be doing every day, for the days, for the months, and for the weeks, for the years to come. Number 2. So 2 things we must be preparing. Make use of this COVID lockdown time to prepare yourself for 2 things. Okay. Number 1, you prepare yourself for the uncertainty that might happen. Number 2, you prepare yourself for death, or the most uncertain thing, which is living itself. Now, this COVID-19 has given us the real practical experience of Buddha's teachings, and we can see for ourselves that exactly something can happen instantly, and everybody is panicking, everybody is locked down, hundreds of people, thousands of people are dying instantly, and from the richest. You will be surprised. Many of this royal family people, right from Prince Charles to many of the royal families in Iran and many other countries, Saudi Arabia, many people are affected. So when you have disease, it doesn't look whom should I affect or whatever. Everybody and anybody can be affected by this disease. So that's why you prepare yourself mentally and physically. Now, if you meditate every day, which I would expect all of you as Dhamma friends to meditate every day. I'm not saying 2 hours, I'm not saying 1 hour. At least 10 to 15 minutes every day, you will start meditating. If you have not started now, start now. Please, immediately from tomorrow morning, please sit down to meditate for 15 minutes, minimum 15 minutes. And then please get into some sort of exercise, some sort of yoga, some sort of physical exercise. Keep moving. Keep yourself active, because then you're physically active, you're mentally active, then you will remain motivated and inspired. Okay. So these are the 2 exercises I would like all of you to do. And please, there will be a lot of other students who have no idea about all of this. No idea of morality, no idea of meditation, no idea of motivation, no idea of inspiration. So please keep on inspiring and motivating others. We are lucky that we have had wonderful camps where we trained ourselves, we learned about life, we learned about all these wonderful things about change, how everything is impermanent. Now this is the moment to inspire and motivate many of the students who are actually worried, panicking, feeling down and all that. So this is what we should be doing. And I'm also in Thailand doing a lot of work. Actually, I'm locked up, but I also do a lot of work. I'm working with some of the top company CEOs who are actually coming on one-on-one sessions with me. So I'm having a great time with all of these people. And I'm also staying very close to the beach, where I spend a lot of time going to the beach, playing on the sand and all that. So I know all of most of you will not have this facility, but all of you will have this facility, that you have a home, you have places where you can go buy vegetables and eat and keep yourself healthy and strong. So this is what I expect all of you to do this. And the other thing I want to tell you is, I want to tell you a very interesting story of how to keep yourself motivated and inspired. There was a lady, an old man there was an old man who was from, I don't remember exactly the country, and he recovered. He was in his 90s and he recovered from Covid-19. And then suddenly the doctors brought all the bills and asked him to pay all these bills, and this much cost and all that, hospital charges and everything. And they told him, like, you have to pay the bills. And suddenly the man started crying. And suddenly, like, all the doctors and nurses and all the people thought like he doesn't have money to pay, and so he's worrying, he's sad, he doesn't have money to pay. So they said, don't worry, why you're crying? You don't have to cry, we will take care of it. He said, I'm not crying because I don't have money to pay. I have money and I have everything to pay. But when I was in the hospital, I was put on incubation, so I was on oxygen, so I have to pay for oxygen. But for until today, until 90 years, I've had free air to breathe, and nature is so kind to me that I was getting all the air that I need, which is the most important element for us to survive. And he said, like, how we should be all grateful to nature, and what we're doing, we're destroying nature, we're harming nature, we're polluting nature. And this is the realization a 90-year-old man realized during this COVID-19 experience. So now we, unlike many people, have a lot of understanding. And so keep yourself motivated, keep yourself reminding of all the teachings. Don't forget the Eightfold Path, don't forget the 5 precepts. And now you can get into a system of Dhamma house experience where we do regular chanting, meditation, do some games. If you're like 2-3 people in one room, you can play some games, do some Dhamma activities, do some Dhamma discussion, do some debates, do some things like that. Keep yourself in positive inspiration, positive motivation. And this is what I would say. And what else to say? Yeah. And if you meditate, then many of your tension, stress will go away. And if you take every morning, you remind yourself of the 5 precepts, you will be motivated and inspired, so you don't have to worry about that. And don't forget the stories of this will also change. Keep telling yourself this will also change. Otherwise, if you don't understand that this will also change, if you don't remind yourself of this will also change, then you will be like this swimology person. I hope you all remember swimology, the story that I used to tell you in Dhamma house, swimology. Let me just tell you, just remind you, because if you apply the teachings today in these circumstances, in this situation, then you can really practically experience the value of Dhamma. But if you don't apply today in this situation where you really need Dhamma, then you will not experience the practical experience. So there is a huge difference between practical experience and theoretical knowledge. So that's why, please remember this story, swimology. Let me tell you. There was a man who was he was a boatman, and he was crossing the ocean with three professors, 3 intellectual people got on his boat. And as they were crossing the ocean, all these intellectual people, PhDs, many double PhD, or maybe 3 times PhD, they started asking the boatman, hey, where are you from, and blah blah blah. He considered himself in front of all these professors. He's a very small man. He knows nothing about life, nothing about this education. He considered them as like big professors, intellectuals. So one of them asked him, hey, do you know what is astrology? And this man, like a very simple boatman, he knows nothing about astrology. He said, sir, I don't know anything about astrology. What is that, sir? Oh, astrology, you don't know. My goodness, you don't know what astrology is. So you've wasted 25% of your life. And certainly when a professor, when this intellectual, when this PhD person is telling this poor man, a boatman, a simple man, that you've wasted 25% of your life, then obviously he felt like, oh my gosh, yeah, if you're saying I certainly wasted 25% of my life. Then the other person, the next professor, asked him, hey, do you know what is astronomy? Hey, what is that? He asked another astronomical. He said, what is that, sir? I've never heard of these things. I don't know these things. And then the third professor asked him, do you know oceanology? Hey, what is oceanology? I've never heard this before. So the second professor said, you don't know astronomical things, then you've wasted 50% of your life. And the third one says, you don't know oceanology. No, sir, I've never heard about oceanology. You've wasted 75% of your life. And by the time when they said this, certainly there was a big storm and the boat was going to capsize. And suddenly the man, he didn't know what to say to these great professors and, like big people. He just ran to them and said, excuse me, sir, do you know swimology? And suddenly these 3 guys said, what is swimology? We don't know what is swimology. Sir, can you swim? And they said, sorry, we cannot swim. And he said, laughingly, he said, sir, all 3 of you have wasted 100% of your life. Now there's a big storm, and if you don't know how to swim, you're all going to die. I'm going to go and swim across this ocean. And he dives into the water, swims across happily. And this is the difference between intellectual, theoretical people and practical people. Having practical knowledge, practical experience is the real wisdom, real understanding. So all the Dhamma friends, don't be a swimologist. You should be Dhammalogist. So we should all be Dhammalogist. Always think positive, always. Sometimes you'll be low. Just tell yourself, no, I will not be low. Why should I be low? Why should I waste my time? Why should I waste my day? Why should I waste my time here? I will remain positive. Okay? And never complain. This is the moment. Eat less. If you don't get food, eat less. Doesn't matter. It's good for your dieting. It's good. Eat less. If you don't get enough food, doesn't matter. Don't complain. This is the time to test yourself whether you can stand all these challenges. And if you can stand this, then you can face life. Life has a lot of challenges. Life has a lot of challenges ahead. A lot of things are coming in life. This is only the beginning, my dear. So if you can stand this, you can stand anything in life. If you can face these challenges, you can face any challenges in life. And mind you, at this age, I can tell you, life is not bed of roses. Life is not always smooth. Life is not always easy. Life is full of challenges. I will not say problems, I will not say difficulties, but I would certainly say life is full of challenges. But if you are motivated, if you are a practitioner, if you are integrated, then any challenge is not a big deal. Any challenge you can face, any battle you can fight, any situation you can face with, with strong, and you will be strong enough to face any challenges. And this is the time for all of us, and this is like our final exam of this year. And if you can pass these exams, you pass with colorful marks, and you will pass, and you will feel yourself proud. I also got some messages from some of our Dhamma friends who felt very grateful that you went to Dhamma house and you learned so much, and now you feel so happy that you learned all this, and you are trying to motivate and inspire others. So this is the blessings that we have. This is the wonderful gifts we are gifted with. So don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, don't waste your teachings. Spread it out and inspire and motivate others. All right. And I've seen, like, in our groups, a lot of discussions are going on. Why don't we do like different discussions in different groups? Start some interesting discussion in every group, some motivational discussion, some Dhamma discussion, rather than talking. None of our groups should carry any of these all these news, repetitive news about COVID. Please don't post any COVID news in any of our groups, please. And one more thing I forgot to tell you. Well, this is an opportunity again. I'm sure most of you would be what you would be doing most of the time during this lockdown is, I'm sure most of you would be glued to your mobile, will be glued to your television. Please, what we have started in our family again is we have started digital detox, where at home, in our home, we are not supposed to be watching television, mobiles from the moment we wake up to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. We don't use mobile at all. We don't check messages. We don't get into it. Unless we have some work to do, we don't get into it. And all the family, we follow that. And you'll be surprised what we have started doing once we stop mobile. It was suddenly we had so much time, and the whole family were in a very different mood. We started playing collective games, like we started playing chess, we started playing Uno, or like many other games, like family games we started playing. And it was so much fun to play together, spend quality time together. So all the Dhamma friends, I would recommend, please, either you stop watching any rubbish news or all these, demotivating, discouraging news. Don't watch. I've stopped watching all these, and I live as if there is no COVID-19. I live very free. I live very calm. I do spend a lot of time listening to Dhamma talks, meditation, doing exercise, Tai Chi, blah, blah, blah. So quality time. So if you can do digital detox, this is again an opportunity. I can guarantee you, try this at least once for one full day, half a day. Don't watch, don't look into your mobile. Just switch off and do something else. Read some books or do some discussions. If you cannot do it in the morning, do it in the afternoon. You can select afternoon till evening, let's say 9 o'clock. From 1 o'clock to, say, in the evening, like 9 until you go to bed. Don't watch news. Don't look into your mobile. This will be very interesting. Start reading some motivational books, or start doing some motivational discussion, or start playing games amongst each other, among Dhamma friends, or do something rather than wasting a lot of time into watching this news and all that. So this is what I don't do, and that's what I would recommend all of you to do. So 3 important points to remember. Please, in the morning, try to wake up early. Don't sleep too much, thinking that, we are locked down, so we have nothing else to do. So don't waste your time, and try to wake up early in the morning. Try to meditate. every day, every morning, at least 15 minutes. And then we will all do some productive discussion. I'm planning to start, a quiz program online. So I'll be sending you one question to every group, one question which is tricky question, and see if everybody, whoever knows the answer. So if you can answer, then you get some plus point or something interesting. This is what I'm thinking, and during the lockdown. So if we can do some sort of creative things and not waste our time, that would be very, very helpful. And I would like all of you, why not make some short video messages and send it to me, send it in the group, like how you feel, how you're facing these challenges, what are the things you're learning from this experience. And all of these experiences, if you can share through some videos, it would be very nice. And I will be making more videos, YouTube videos, and I'll be posting, so you can also have a look. And some of you can also look into my YouTube videos and do some discussion based on that. So these are some of the things, and I think that's the time I have for today. And if you have any questions, you can ask. Anybody has questions? Hey, everybody is there from Jammu, Chandigarh, Delhi. Anybody from Delhi there online? Anybody there? Can you send me? You have any questions or